Welcome back, everyone, and apologies for that little glitch I had there in the game, but we've got a new stream up and running and getting down to the crucial moments of qualifying now, which is the all-important part of qualifying. Of course, still got a few drivers, quite a few drivers, who have yet to set a time, so a lot of people struggling with track limits by the looks of things, Isaac, so a lot of them have got to get a wriggle and get a lap under their belt.
Couple of mistakes, yeah. Obviously there was one with Crossfire earlier, but I think there's been maybe a couple more people who've already set a time though, maybe. A lot of them, a couple of people haven't come out at all, so it's going to be interesting to see what they can do.
It is. I'm just watching Vedran now come out of the final corner at turn 15. So we said the timing line is really long way down the straight. There it is. And he goes fourth fastest there with a 1:29.9. So we're not going to get...
In the mix for the moment.
Sour Pancake sets the time now with a 1:29.7. So all the times is... Obviously you don't race in Monday, Iggy. I know you did the one time, didn't you, in Spain a few weeks ago? So
yeah.
But the time's usually very, very close in qualifying.
Oh, it's very competitive.
So we'll hope to see that. But because as we just said, there's a lot of drivers who get to set a time, like Cali Rob, who we know is always fast when he comes back and reserves, and Kem Jazz is yet to set a time. Amir Guna, of course, as well, and it looks like he's not going to set a time. He looked like he went really wide there. Robin on a lap, Crossfire Strikes, who ruined his lap before at turn 15, said he was on a really good lap before that, and it really didn't work out for him in the last corner as he comes through the last couple of corners again now, and he doesn't actually, bails out, goes into the pits, still yet to set a time. I can't see the time on the board. Welcome back, everyone who is just joining us. Say apologies for the glitch I had in the last stream. Back to the last 6 minutes of qualifying. Looks like Robin is on a lap. But he's on the...
I think Kem's just started one as well.
Yeah, Kem has just started one. But Robin's on the medium tyres. Vedran is on the medium tyres as well in 6th place, so he's done a really good lap. That's big where it says Upper Martin. Does that mean anything to you? Is that a joke for you, is it? As Robin crosses the line in 12th place there, just behind Trunders. Jura is on an out lap as well. So Kem Jazz is on a lap as well as Cali Rob, who's just coming around the final couple of corners. Bails out of that one as well. He's going to do himself a one-shot qualifying by the looks of things. So it's only Kem, I think, that's on a lap and yet to set a time. And he was struggling, I think, in the practice session. He comes around turn 11. It's really easy to go wide at that apex there at turn 11. So you're around turn 12 now. Said try not to get too much of the curve down the exit because it will invalidate your lap time. Keep it to the right for turn 14, but he bails out of it as well. We're not getting any more laps in, Isaac. As I say that, we've got a new provisional pole sitter at the moment with Ruding with a 1:29.3. We might just get into the 28s. His teammate of Tim, who's...
As your comes down the straight. Nothing, I think he's his starting one, or was he just finished? He just finished one, I think, just that time.
I think he's just started one.
Yeah, he's just started one. It was an out lap, I think.
How much battery he's got. So yeah, Ruding is now set the provisional pole time of a 1:29.368. Just waiting for other drivers like Crossfires to come back out of the pit lane. Amir Guna is on an out lap. A load of drivers are in the pits, but we're for sure going to see them come out in the next minute and a half or so to start their final out lap. Because of course you can finish your lap as long as you reach the checkered flag, reach the line before the checkered flag has fallen for qualifying. So you get that extra time to finish your lap at the end of the session. And of course, people like Apex, Crossfires, Amir Guna, Cali Rob have all left the garage nice and early. Maybe just enough time to set 2 laps in a row, but not usually a great idea if you're going to start on those tyres.
It's not a good idea. Trundles is just on the first sector. He's on a hot lap.
Yeah, so he's coming down the Michel straight now towards turn 8 and 9. And then we venture down the second part of the straight towards turn 10, which apparently used to be a really fierce right-hand corner, but it's really something of a nothing corner now, really. Might be this year with this year's cars.
I'll have to see what the extra weight does.
As he comes around turn 11, the corner with a load of lines on the entry, and
So
the
he's
exit,
and
now,
oh!
he hit the curb a little bit too much there and sent it going sideways, and now bails
He
out.
bails
I think
in.
he's a little bit
He
late
might
now.
just. Oh, he could probably. He'd be very tight. Very, very, very tight.
I think it's that's not going to happen. But Vedran is not going to go any faster though. He does retire on those medium tyres. That's what he definitely wants to start on. Everyone else looks like they're going to start on the soft tyres. And Crossfires is now going down into the real low 129s now, and 129.212 to take provisional pole and snatch it away from Ruding. The Sour Pancake has just started a lap. He's on the second row as it stands.
I think Apex is flying down the back straight as well.
Yeah, we've got Apex, we've got Cali Rob, who's invalidated his lap time. Ami Aguna,
Apex is invalidated.
Across the line. As Vedran says, I could go 1.5 seconds faster on the starts, but he's opting out of doing that. He says that in the comments. And Apex is invalidated as well. They've got enough time to go again, as long as they've got enough fuel on board. So Crossfires is now just waiting.
Yeah, James towards turn 1 as well. He's on one.
As the Stinos is on a lap as well. The championship leader is on an out lap and cutting it fine here for time. I think with
very close.
As Trundles retires from the session, as I didn't think it was close enough. We have got 4 drivers at the bottom, Isaac, that have yet to set a lap. It is now a one-shot qualifying for these drivers of their own making, I must say.
Including Apex, who's second in the championship.
Yeah, Apex as well, and Stinos' rival is not looking in a good place, and he's got the hurry up to start his final lap. We've got 15 seconds almost on the clock. He's coming around the final corner now, so he's going to be able to make it. Darth Vader is not though, and Ruding was optimistic, but isn't going to make it. I don't think he does make it, but
no, he doesn't.
Did he cut corners in qualifying to get that lap underway? We'll have to investigate that after the race itself. Anthony has moved himself up into 3rd place.
Oh, Apex is invalidated again. Oh, he's thrown it away again at the chicane.
As Apex is now definitely out of qualifying. He's going to be starting
Kem through the last
at
corner.
The back. As watching Kem out of the final corner, come towards the line now. Got no time to beat, just the one time to set. And sets a 1:31.038. Cali Rob is also not going to set a time as he's on the outfield of the circuit at turn 11. So that's him out of qualifying. Cali Rob and Apex were not able to set times. We have got drivers who are on laps.
Anthony flying in the 3rd sector. When is he going to improve? Oh, he's invalidated. I hadn't even noticed. Oh dear. Sad Pancake's still on one, I think.
Yeah, Sour Pancake's on one. Stinos is on one. He's coming round turn 14 and now 15.
And so is Roding. Oh, he's round.
Ruding is round, and now he's not going to be able to set a faster time. Where Stinos going to go there, go second, and he's on the front row.
No improvement.
No improvement for the Sour Pancake. Crossfire Strikes looks like and has got that pole position in France. It takes the French pole by 1/10. We didn't get into the 128s, we got into the low 129s. 2 drivers didn't set a time. Just shows It's always better, I think, Isaac, to do sort of an 80% lap and just get a lap on the board rather than going all out the whole of the
That's what I
session.
always go for in Tuesday, because I just try and pull it out all at the end. But yeah,
And that's why I usually, giving away my secrets here, that's why I usually do 2 laps on the mediums at the start, because it's just sort of a build up for the 2 soft laps and it just helps eke out the mistakes. Anyway, they didn't do that and they were going to be on the back row for the Grand Prix. So Crossfires takes the pole position with Stinos on the front row with him. His countryman of Ruding is just behind him in third. Anthony is fourth. Fifth was the South Pancake Tip. Astor was sixth. Seventh is Big Weir. Vedran is eighth. Ninth is Robin. Darth Vader is 10th. 11th is James, the first man on the fresh tyres. Amir Guna is 12th. 13th is Sibiru. Veloce Ayub is 14th. 15th is Azure F Wings. Chemjazz is 16th. Trunders is 17th. 18th is Apex Finley. And Cali Rob is 19th. And I'm surprised that the clock hasn't started.
that is a bit worrying. I did just have the weather report in, actually. I've been told it's a dry race. So that's quite interesting.
I'll just see if we're
No
waiting
rain.
for anyone.
It ain't going there for me either.
We're just waiting to see if we can advance to the next
Darth
session.
Vader.
Everyone.
Yeah, Darth Vader just needs to try and rant. Oh, the time has started for me. I don't know if it started for
There we
you
go.
also.
So that took a little while. Anyway, we will be getting into the next session, which of course is the 50% Grand Prix. Stinos, the championship leader, is on the front row still with his closest rival on the back row. So really, literally polar opposites of the grid for the championship rivals. And Stinos has got himself a quite comfortable margin of around 20 or so points in the standings. So we'll have to wait and see. We've got drivers, of course, who are going to pick their tyre strategies. Isaac, what tyres do you think you would go on? Do you think you would trying to start on the mediums if you were outside the top 10?
I think I would try and start on the mediums, to be honest. I wouldn't really go for the softs. It's always nice to try an alternate strategy with not many people starting on the mediums in the top 10. But there might be a few who go for the softs. Maybe we'll get a hard runner. You never know.
That's always what Flea does on a Tuesday. He always does the opposite of everyone else. So I think we might be just waiting on Darth Vader again. Right, so we're just getting into the session. Sorry, apologies. It's just taking a little while for us to load in. It is a cloudy day, though.
It's very overcast. I heard it wasn't going to rain, but perhaps.
Perhaps
Certainly a
it
cold
might.
track. Cold track at least, even if it's not.
Yeah, that's going to play its part potentially as we're about to get in onto the grid for the formation. Like I said, drivers are just sorting out their strategies outside the top 10. Not very much unless it's a two-stop for the top outside the top 10 for the top 10 to do anything to their strategies unless it's a 2-stop or more.
Safety cars will always open that out, but it is quite an open track. So I feel like potentially slightly reduced as opposed to somewhere like Singapore, where you might get multiple safety cars, or Monaco.
So we'll have a look at the tyres then. Yes, so no one outside the top 10 are starting on the softs. It's seven medium runners and 2 hard runners. So 2 McLarens are going for the hard strategy, which is interesting. Isaac, that the teammates actually do the same strategy. That's not usually the case.
No, it's not. Perhaps they're banking on all or nothing. If it works out, they're like geniuses.
So Vedran is starting 8th. He took a big risk there and dropped quite a way down the order. But hopefully the medium tyres will pay off for him. Of course, the only man in the top 10 on the medium tyres. And just watching.
Veloci just hit someone on the safety car. Not safety car, air formation lap even.
That was
huge.
Yeah, that was Veloci and Sibiru who have had a collision. It's not uncommon for Veloci to have some controversy this season, and it's added to the almost book of incidents now.
Intrigue about what's going to happen next. You never know what might happen. But that's the fun about leagues like this. What's the little bit of chaos here and there? Along with some.
I don't know if it's come up on your screen, Isaac, but it's saying a 2-stop strategy from the softs, and it's a soft, medium, or a soft, medium to a hard tyre, as it's most definitely taken over now for the front runners.
Soft, medium sounds quite attractive. I reckon quite a lot of them might try that.
It's a shame that you can't use the same compound twice in the race, but there you go, rules are rules.
Unless it rains, you never know.
Unless it rains, yeah. So we're just about to get underway. If you watch out for the back 9 drivers, Isaac, see what happens after the first few corners, see if there's anything that happens there. But we'll get to the front of the grid, of course, that's where everyone wants to watch. At the start of the Grand Prix, we've got the championship leader on the front row. Crossfire's trying to gain some ground on the championship leader. It's 5 lights. And we're away from Monday's Limitless 1 French Grand Prix. And Crossfires has got a good start, but Stinos has got the best of the both of them. And now he's going to go around the outside, potentially into turn 1. He looks like he's got ahead, but no. Crossfires holds on, but they are going side by side through turn 2 as we're now on the run down towards turn 3. A lot of drivers are off onto the outfield in the background there. Veloci looking like he's made up a couple of positions there, potentially. And now, as Calirob's made up 4 positions, and looking like the Alfa Romeo is trying to go around the outside of Robin. There's a bit of contact between the two of them. We've got a Ferrari of Amir Guna and Darth Vader about to come round turn 7 onto the Michel straight and get back to the front of the grid. Crossfires has got a tiny gap, but not enough to withstand an attack from Stinos. And it all looked very good.
A little bit of contact. Yeah, a little bit of contact at the back, but I don't think anyone's got any damage, hopefully. So it was pretty clean.
And luckily there is a lot of runoff at France, so it's a pretty league racing friendly circuit, is Le Castellet. As Veloci looks like he's going to go down the inside on Calirob, who has made up 5 positions at the start. And seeing Veloci, of course, on the hard tyre. So everyone looking as close as always, nothing separating any of them. Pretty much, if we're on lap 3 here, Isaac, they would all have DRS pretty much. As Apex and Darth Vader are jostling for position down the start-finish straight. Apex has gained 7 positions on lap 1. What a start! Oh, it's Darth Vader is round, but he hasn't got himself any damage. Needs to be careful. He is on the racing line, but he is now the last driver in the field. As Crossfire still maintains the lead. We've got a yellow flag, and that's Darth Vader, but hopefully he'll be able to catch up to the back of the pack, Isaac, because he's got no damage, and they'll all still be quite bunched up for a couple of laps. As Crossfire said, still in the lead, only 3/10, and DRS will be enabled next lap, and this will be the first opportunity with the DRS next lap, as Ruding is right on the gearbox of Stinos. So there's a yellow flag there, and James and Robin are fighting for that 9th place. James is just ahead as they come into turn 10. As you said, Isaac, at the start of the stream, or the first stream, how good France can be for racing on the game, and within 1.5 laps, it's already shown that.
Yeah, I always think it's quite an underrated one in terms of on the game. In real life, it's not always the best, but on the game, I've always found it very enjoyable. And now that we're going to get DRS on this lap.
We will get DRS, and it is a very, very cloudy day. We'll wonder if there may be some rain in the air, if it will brighten up into the race. So we go on to lap 3. Anthony takes the fastest lap with a 1:33.752. And the top 8 are all within DRS of each other, Isaac, at the moment. And potentially
it's going to be interesting down the straight.
So if James
it's only going to move at the front.
If James can catch up, it'll be pretty much every single driver will be within DRS of each other. Which he has done. Yep, so that is a hell of a DRS train.
And City has to going down for Crossfire.
He is already. He doesn't go for it just yet. We'll have a look into the background, as there are some drivers getting close together in the mid-pack of the front of the field. Between 5th, 6th and 7th, we've got a yellow flag there. Not sure who that is. Looks like it's got cleared up rather quickly. This is now 1/10 separating the top 2.
Yeah, Crossfire lost the back end a little bit to the right hand corner, or rather Stinos just got a better run, but it's still even now into the next section.
Just watching them through turns 14 and 15. We are getting a yellow flag in turn 1 intermittently, so do apologise for that. Hopefully it won't carry on for the whole race, but not looking like it's causing too much of an issue anyway. But it's still going to cause an issue for Crossfire strikes. He potentially is now going to try and go around the outside at turn 1. It will turn to the inside for turn 2. A bit of contact between the two of them. Just a little kiss for the two of them there as we go down the hill towards turns 3. And Crossfire stays ahead, and Ruding is going to try and seize on the opportunity of these two fighting ahead of him. It's so close between the top 3, but I say that there's just a big queue of cars behind them.
It's bunching them all up.
Yeah, it is definitely bunching them all up. It's great for us to watch. Stinos is now going to try and attack again. Crossfires, of course, goes to the inside, tries to defend that inside. Stinos going to try and throw it round the outside, and he does try to do that. And there's a bit of contact between the two of them. Maybe Stinos now takes the lead at the French Grand Prix, but his Crossfires is going to try and fight back. As Isaac said, he has got a better run out of turn 9 as we go through turn 10, side by side between the Haas and the Alpine, as we now run into turn 11, and they're still side by side. Is there going to be a bit of movement between the two of them? No, they're still staying together as we now run into turn 12, and neither of them want to give up this fight as Crossfires now tries to go down the inside. There's a bit of contact again between the two of them running through turns 13. When is this going to end? Is now we're coming towards the end of the lap, and it looks like Crossfires is going to get the DRS as they're so close together. Ruding hasn't been able to gain any positions on either of them just yet, as Big Red jumps into the pits. Now Ruding is going to attack and go around the outside. It's going to be a 3 wide into turn 1, and no, it's Ruding who now pounces on the opportunity and takes the lead of the French Grand Prix. That was a hell of a lap there on lap 4.
That's so exciting.
As Ruding came out of nowhere there and just crept up and snatched that lead out of the hands of the Crossfires and Stinos. But saying that, just for James forming a little queue behind him, the top 7 all very close together. Big Weir has taken a risk here. I'm not sure
He's
what
lost the DRS, but he's going for the undercut. Oh, and
so
Crossfire's getting for the lead.
Yep, he's gone on the inside at turn 8 and got back into the lead with Ruding, I'm sure, going to try and fight back for that now as we come down towards turn 11. Is it going to be a parallel of last lap? But it's a Haas and a Mercedes this time as they're side by side and down towards turn 11 now. Sorry, it was turn 10 before, and they're still side by side trying to hold it on a nice wide circuit here at Paul Ricard's table for these close battles. Is Ruding now takes back the lead.
Crossfire's got the cutback,
but he does get that switcheroo. And now into turn 14, takes back the lead, but Ruding is going to have DRS, and Stinos, of course, is going to have DRS on Ruding as well. So I think these drivers are just trying to be quite clever with their strategies and stay out of the fight for the lead, as Ruding is now going to try and take it back once again, and does with the DRS, and Stinos doesn't get involved this time into turn 1. Tay Pasta has been closing up rather quickly as Crossfire Strikes gets himself a 3-second time penalty.
That's not good at this stage of the race.
There's 2 drivers in the top 10 now with penalties. South Pancake gets himself another penalty. This might be a
Big Weir comes out ahead of Anthony. I don't know if he was before, but he's got them.
It was very close between the two of them though, but it is going to be interesting with Big Weir when the drivers at the front do pit, and what is going on at the front is exactly what Anthony and Big Weir want to happen, of course, because the longer they're fighting side by side with each other, which is great to watch for us, but for Big Weir it's even better because of course it slows them down with their lap times. And of course, famously, as Toto Wolff actually says, the stopwatch never lies, which is the beauty of this sport, among other things, as we come around turn 11.
Oh, and James has spun.
And I'm not
I
sure
think
if
he
he
could have been in
himself.
contact with Amagu now. I'm not quite sure they were right together.
He has got damage there. He's lost an end plate on the left hand side, so will have to pit as Crossfire's now pit. So this is going to be interesting.
This is critical for the race.
We're watching Big Weir now coming around turn 12 with Anthony very much behind him, and Crossfire is now falling down the order. But is Big Weir made the right call here? This is interesting. The Haas is now in his pit box, of course, the second to last one in 2021.
I think it's going to be close.
It is going to be close because Big Weir is now powering down the start-finish straight. And Crossfires is now just at the exit. This is going to be neck and neck as they come down into turn 1. Big Weir looks like he's going to take the place on Crossfires. No, Crossfires just stays ahead. But now he's got himself a problem because he's got this Aston Martin and Red Bull just behind him, and he's going to cause him more bother than he anticipated when going into the pit. So it's going to be interesting with the drivers ahead of them as well as James. There is another yellow flag, and I think that's another random yellow flag. And we've got Vedran, who's just got past the South Pancake there into turn 10. Apologies that we didn't get to see that. Just waiting to see what the front runners are going to do, because of course, Isaac, these soft tyres are just going to be getting ever worse now. And
surely they've got to come in soon. Otherwise, they don't waste so much time.
Yeah, and much more slower as well. As Ruding now dives into the pits, so this is going to be interesting. Stinos stays out. Stinos stays out as well as Tay Pasta. So the strategy game is going to be very interesting today, as Anthony has now got past Big Weir.
They can't afford to get caught behind Big Weir and Anthony.
I think
they're going to fight Crossfire.
I think they might though. If I'm honest, I really think they will. As the South Pancake is now leaving the box, the Mercedes has already left it and coming down to the giveaway line to come back onto the circuit.
They come down the straight.
And here they come again. This is going to be very close again.
Anthony's going to get Ruding.
And Anthony does get Ruding there, but he has got Big Weir right on his gearbox, and Robin is just behind them as well. I think he's yet to pit, but he's still going to be causing a spot of bother for them. We've got a yellow flag again, but I don't think there's anything to worry about that. So now it's all about what the top 4 Top three now too is Apex is up 14 places.
Big effort.
Callywell has also done very well.
Going past Anthony.
Yeah, so Ruding is now got through. This is almost around where the leaders will end up. This train of cars here from 11th back are the net leaders at the moment. Is the rest of them in front have yet to pit.
And interestingly, Ruding's also on hard tyres, as opposed to Crossfire on the Stroffs. Mediums. Yes. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, I do apologise. Robin has actually pit, so he's in this fight towards the front. So it was a yellow flag again. So the top two of pit. Vedran has stayed out, but was on the mediums, and of course Apex is also going to stay out.
Rob speed in the pit lane.
That's not what you want to be doing. As we see Crossfires now come around the final corner. Got Stinos just having a tyre change down. Crossfires surely to go past the pair of them, but where are they going to come out? They're going to both come out behind Big Weir and Robin as well.
And Robin's on them softs, that could be quite tricky to pass.
Yeah, potentially. Now we've got Vedran in the lead, and of course he's going to be able to push on a little bit further, along with the drivers behind him. Of course, Veloce's looking in a very good position. In saying that, he's going to go for the position ahead of him of second place. He goes on the inside of Apex Finley at turn 8 and gets the job done nice and easy there for the McLaren driver. But this is Aston going to fight back as we come down towards turn 10. And he might have to go into turn 11. He's certainly thinking about it, but he's going to wait for the DRS. I'm assuming.
Stinos is right all over the back of Robin, and he's got him.
But now he's got the drivers ahead of him that aren't really that easy to pass. He is going to struggle with the drivers he has.
Big Weir on the same tyres next.
But are slightly older, of course.
4 laps.
And Darth
Vader's off session. I'll re-invite him.
Thank you. As Stinos really needs to get past Big Weir, but not looking likely just yet. Azure is very close to the back of Kem. Not seen either of these drivers until now in this race. They're on lap 10. Yet to pit these two drivers. And actually, Kem was saying that Civi is one of his main rivals this season, and Civi is just ahead of him, but just behind him, but not for long, is Azure, who's now gone just ahead of him now into 6th place.
And Stinos is getting past Big Weir down the Mistral straight.
But is Big Weir going to pull up a fight? I think he will. He might try and brake a little bit later than Stinos, but isn't able to hold on.
Can he get the exit?
Let's just see.
There's a...
As Ruding is round.
Ruding
is into the wall. He needs to be careful when rejoining the circuit.
He's got a lot of gap behind him. Oh, he spun.
And he spun again.
Cali Rob's coming now. He's got to be careful to get back on before him. I think he's going to do it. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, he's got it. Okay.
Yeah, but he's...
I didn't see that was weird.
He's now got himself into a spot of bother. Now, Veloce is on the best set of tyres now, I'd say, in the top part of the field now, as all the rest of them, until as you're in 6th place, are on the medium compounder tyre. Looks like Crossfires is just starting to create a little bit of a gap, but not really much for any sort of breathing room. Is Ruding speed in the pit lane and the tyres.
He's retired
from the race. Shame. First man to retire from this Grand Prix.
And Veloce's all over Vedran now. Them mediums must be really going off.
They must be. They must have to come in the next lap, either this lap or the next couple of laps after
Yeah, by lap 12 or 13 they'll win, I think.
Yeah, Veloce is very much on the gearbox now of that Red Bull.
Yeah, the hards are so much faster.
Of course, where's this going to put these guys into contention with the drivers fighting for the lead, but they're not too far
They
behind.
may be quite
They're
hard
just
to
coming
tape
into
us
turn
though.
11.
Yeah, it's after tape us, so I'd expect them all to come out, but in that gap, because Calliope's further back, there's a big gap there for them to slot into.
Vader is left again. There's a fight between...
And Veloce. Veloce's going to get Vedran.
And Veloce does take the lead of the Grand Prix, but it isn't really the lead just yet, unless there was a safety car, of course. But he is yet to pit, but as it stands, he is in the lead of the French Grand Prix, making up a huge amount of places in this race. Stinos takes the fastest lap of that extra point for the time being with a 1:32.970. And what is going on with this group of drivers is Stinos has now made the place up on Anthony as well, and Robin still keeping tabs on the drivers ahead of him on those soft tyres. They seem to be lasting quite a while this time.
Yeah, on the lighter fuel load, he'll do a couple more laps. Did he start on? I can't remember what he started on. I'll go and check.
Mediums, I think.
No, he's on soft to start off with. Yeah, he started on the softs, so he's going to have to go on to the mediums or something next. He's going for a two-stop.
It's very close between the top two again, so yes, the hard tyres are faster, but not looking like they're that much faster at the moment. It's interesting if Apex...
He needs to get out of the DRS if he wants to try and pull away. It's going to be quite difficult.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with between Vedran and Civi. And I say that, Apex is now into the pits, the first driver of the medium tyres to go into the pits. Is anyone else going to follow him as well?
It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out as well.
Going to do the same? No, he's not. What's he going to go on to? The hard tyres, so it's just a one stop for Apex. He's sitting in the box for a long, long time. Oh no, that was that may have just been a slight glitch there.
Yeah, Crossfire's got Cam now, and then Stinos right behind Cam.
We'll just see where Apex comes out in a few moments. He does come out quite a long way behind Tapasta, but will make up some ground, and of course he's not going to pit again.
And, yeah, he's on the one stop, whereas most of the others I'd expect to have to do a two stop from here. They might be able to make that. Yeah.
It's looking pretty good for Apex at the moment. It's looking like he's going to have a really good drive this Monday evening. As Azure came from a long way back there, the DRS working wonders there, and moves himself up into fourth place. Civi is trying to fight back in that Alpha Tauri, but he might have to try in a few corners time. Of course, no DRS down this section of the straight due to this flat out right hand being far too dangerous to leave the DRS open through there all the way down to turn 11 here. And Anthony and Kem are side by side through turn 11. Anthony on the inside, Kem on the outside, still trying to hold on. He's going to have the inside, but he does. He just lifted off there and let Anthony just
yeah, he's on much older tyres.
As,
a bit older tyres.
Robin has now got past Big Weir, interestingly. Civi is now into the pits, and Vedran and Amiaguna are still yet to pit, as well as Veloce, of course. It's going to be interesting to see what Veloce does, Isaac. Is he going to go for a one stop but try and go a bit longer onto the softs? Maybe?
He'd be stretching it on the hard. I think he could probably do that. It's just how much time does he lose, and can he gain that back then on the softs with only maybe 8 laps left?
It's still only one stop though, isn't it?
It would only be one stop. He's just got to make it back on the other drivers that are also on a one stop that have gone medium hard. And obviously soft compared to hard, it'd be a very big difference there, so perhaps that's what he's trying to go for.
Stinos is now just over half a second behind, and surely going to get under that half a second now, and does, just into the braking zone of turn 8, and has made up that deficit. This Tapasta goes past the sad pancake there into turn 8 as well. Probably the most optimal overtaking spot of the circuit, as Robin has now pitted Isaac, and just on the back of Kem, who is just pitted for the hard tyres. So looking like Robin should make easy pickings of Kem here and get the better traction out of turn 9.
He's got it, I think, yeah. Unless Kem can somehow hold it, I think Robin's going to have it here.
He just lets him go.
They don't need to be fighting now, they're on fresh tyres. They need to try and make up time on the cars in front.
Half a second separate second and third at the moment, and that's Vedran and Amir Guna. As they're just about to come onto the Michel straight around turn 6, and now a slight kink of turn 7 onto the straight, where the first DRS zone is of the lap. And I reckon Amir Guna is going to be sizing up a move here towards turn 8. And I have to say, Isaac, I think the DRS zone here on the Michel straight is
quite long.
It's a little bit too long, I think.
Yeah, it makes it quite easy to get the moves done unless you're willing to brave it around the outside. It's a bit risky to do that, and yeah, it makes the DRS passes quite simple.
Tay Pasta here. This is train of 3 fighting for 8th place. Big Weir at the front of it, and it did look like Tay got a really good exit there out of turn 9 and into turn 10. That dirty air will be affecting the car as he looks to the outside. Maybe now switches to the inside, but Big Weir is wise to that and holds on to the inside line. As Tay does go quite wide there, Isaac. I thought he was going to dive into the pits, and he went so wide.
Amir Guna's got a 3-second time penalty.
So it is going to be really interesting to see. Looks like Crossfires is in the net lead of this race and is now catching up to Azure, who is yet to pit on the hard tyres, and he's going to overtake him any time now, I would say. Isaac is him and Stenos are very close.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see what the 3 ahead of them do with this one stop, because I think Crossfires is going to have to pit again. It's going to make it an interesting race.
It is, definitely. If Crossfire is going to pit again, he needs to be getting this gap down to Veloce, because it's quite a big gap. If Veloce's going to be able to go onto the softs, they'll just try and close down.
There's still this fight for 8th place. Stenos has got past Azure as well. Sorry for missing that. Vedran is 7/10 behind Amir Guna as Amir Guna pits and Vedran stays out. So where's this going to put Amir Guna? And of course he's going to have to. Is he going to risk the soft tyres now? I mean,
I'm sure he's going to have to, isn't he? He's not going to go hard.
It would seem
quite a long stint, but he is on low fuel.
Soft tyres for the man in the Ferrari. This is going to be a very, very interesting call as Vedran gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Where's it going to bring him out is the next big question. Big Weir pits as well. Goes onto the medium tyres. Interesting. As well as Anthony as well. Amir Guna is now out of the pits in 9th place and on the hunt on the soft tyres. But he's a bit of a risk, so he really needs to conserve these first few laps, Isaac, to make sure they last to the end. Eke them out rather than hammer time.
He can't afford to go all completely in, or even on lower fuel. They'll be really worn at the end if he does. But he also got to try and close down the gaps with Veloce and those that were with him at the start. I think James has spun, but he's back on.
It's really not been a good day for the Alpha Tauris. Really hasn't, as Big Weir is now down in 15th place. It's going to be interesting what happens with these final round of pit stops. He is going to try and go for the move though, and Kem Jazz, easy pickings once again this DRS straight. Maybe a tad bit long. Kem does, as they all do, try and gain some momentum back down the straight as Vedran now pits, and of course he's going to have to go for the soft tyres as well, surely.
Veloce's got the luxury, but I expect him to go soft. And Crossfire's in as well.
Crossfire is in as well.
So he couldn't make it on a one soft, clearly. He needs to come in, obviously. And I expect him to go soft as well.
As the Sour Pancake looks to go around the outside of Tay Pasta.
Oh no, Crossfire's got mediums.
That's another interesting call. Very, very interesting. It's a big mix-up of the strategies going on. Canny Rob now moves himself up into 9th place. I have no idea.
Maguna's getting past Apex.
I have no idea, Isaac, who is going to win this race.
Veloce is looking very promising. It's just if anyone else can dare hold it out for long enough, maybe.
Yeah, he does still need to pit though. He needs to pit for the He hasn't pit all race, so
yeah.
he needs to pit for the soft tyres, which I'm assuming
where will
he's
they come
going
out?
to this lap or next lap. Probably ideally next lap. But then it leaves
and
you
he's
with
got James off again.
He is off, and actually into the wall this time. And he's not far away from being lapped soon.
No safety car though. That's gonna please the drivers.
And of course the other thing, if any drivers are under fuel, they're going to be having a big problem now in trying to fuel save for the rest of the race as Veloce does stay out for another lap.
We can see that coming at the end. Perhaps some of them that have been up front are gonna need to fuel save, as you said.
Apex has been making strides, but those hard tyres, Isaac, probably not looking like the best option now, with a lot of these drivers going on to the softs at the end. I mean, Vedran just behind him on the softs, and Amaguna then just setting up fastest lap on the soft tyres.
Yeah, and the last couple of laps while the hards even be close to the softs in terms of pace. Right now the softs are going to be miles faster.
Yeah, it's when they can claw it back at the very end. It's looking like it's going to be a very exciting last third of this lap, or last quarter of this lap, this race, sorry. Very, very interesting. Robin very, very close. This is 3-car train here for 11th place. But surely to be more places soon when all the other drivers do pit. We'll see how many pit stops have occurred so far in this race. It's the 2 McLarens that have yet to pit.
On that hard at the start, you said the same strategy. Could it work out for them? And I think it's been quite promising.
Veloce dives in, but he goes wide and off the circuit there. May have gained some sort of advantage. May have to have a little look at that after the race. But of course, he's going to go on the soft. So what's he going to go on? It's a no-brainer. Soft tyres for the McLaren.
And as yours also in, they're double stacking.
I think this is all right. I think they had enough of a gap.
They had a big gap.
For this to be not to slow up Azure at all. Let's hope it doesn't. I don't think it did at all, no.
This hard tyre strategy at the start of the race seems to be working out very nice.
And look at where Veloce has come out, just behind Amaguna, Tate Pasta and the Sad Pancake.
He left it 1 lap too late. See if we can get him now, because they're all bunched up.
And Azure has come out in 13th.
Oh, he's getting for the move down the inside.
Veloce is on the inside of Amaguna as they run through turn 6, now turn 7, and gets that place and moves himself up into 4th. This is looking like an excellent performance from the McLaren of Veloce, now going for another on the Michel straight and gets 3rd place and is on the rostrum already, but is going to have drivers like Tay Pasta who are on fresh rubber. Not Tay Pasta actually, the front 2, not either of them on fresh rubber. Is now Veloce is going to go on the inside of the South Pancake. He's really been in the groove today, and it's looking like he's making easy pickings of every driver. He's got Stinos ahead, and what's Stinos now going to do? Is he going to try and hold on to the end, or is he going to pit? He
18 laps on the mediums, it's doable, but he'd be stretching them a very long way.
He's only got 7 seconds to make up though, and that time is coming down. This is looking like Veloce's race to win, I must admit. And where did Veloce start? He started 12 places back. I think he started in 14th place, and is potentially
Yeah, they
going
started
to...
on, both the McLarens were on the hards at the start. It was a brilliant strategy call, it's looking like, from both of them. Well, maybe if the Mazur can get up a bit, but certainly from Veloce.
Amir Guna now moves up into third, and he's going to try and hunt down Veloce Ayub, who is the only man ahead of him on the same strategy. It's going to be interesting what Stinos can do. Stinos' only hope is to hold on to a bit of a gap and then hope Veloce's tyres just drop off at the end.
Yeah, he's starting up maybe on the last like 2 laps though, if even a little bit. For the first like 3 or 4, the softs will be totally fine. So it's going to be difficult for him.
As Azure gets past Civi there, moves himself up into 11th, got Robin and Anthony just ahead of him, and there is a bit of a gap to Cali Rob. So this is looking like it's in the bag as it stands for Veloce. Stinos did win the Grand Prix last season.
It's also all about how many Stinos go back, because Amagun is not that far behind Veloce. And I think he's also steadily closing the gap down a little bit.
As Veloce now sets the fastest lap as well, so he may go home with maximum points tonight. That's Vidran is within DRS of Tay Pasta. And it's looking like this one stop, even if you're outside the top 10. Isaac was a really, really strong race actually. It's almost better to start outside the top 10 here by the looks of things.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Well, I mean, Vidrani started on the mediums, is in 5th, but other than that, there's a lot of people who started outside the top 10 in high positions. Yeah, it's looking like it was actually a good thing.
As Tay Pasta now goes through,
Oh,
we've got
Crossfire's round on the straight. He's in the wall! Oh, is he in the wall? Did he hit the wall? Oh, he's going back on the track. He's lost his wing completely and must have hit the wall.
Yeah, he was having a great start to the race and is now...
That was a chance for a safety car.
It was a chance, but I don't think it's going to happen. That would have been a real delight for Stinos, but so it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And Veloce is going to be within sight. There he is, as Stinos comes out the final corner there, and that's a big moment actually, and loses a lot of time. So I don't think those medium tyres are going to last to the end. And it looks like this is Veloce's for the taking, and I think it will be his first win of the season as well. We haven't got too many laps to go, Isaac, and I definitely think that Veloce is certainly going to get that lead.
Yeah, it's just about when gets it at this point. Unless he makes a mistake, I can't see him not getting the position. He should be past that.
No, nor can I. It looks like it's a matter of time. If it was a couple less laps, maybe Stinos would have a chance, but he's just getting closer and closer and closer, and I just think that Stinos is even going to struggle finishing the race on these tyres actually.
He might be wise to... I remember Kimi Räikkönen in 2005, was it? Out of that tyre failure.
Yeah.
The Nervo. Yeah, that was... You can't be affording to do that. You can't be affording to get a puncher on the last lap, trying to hold out for second when you can come in for the softs now and make up some positions and score a good point.
There's some position changes here for 8th place. You're right there, Iggy.
He will be able to ease off a bit if Veloce gets past him, because he has got 8.5 seconds back at the moment, so he wouldn't have to go up full power, but even so, the tyre is going to be massive. Oh, and he's got a penalty now as well.
Oh, that has really
Seals
ruined
it.
it. Yeah, pretty much, unless Veloce gets one himself, which pretty much seals that win. Now as Big Ray goes past Civi, moves himself up into 11th. There's 1/10 between 9th and 10th. Looking like Azure still looking pretty strong on those soft tyres. He's done the same strategy as his teammate, but is slightly further down the order, but can collect some really good points for McLaren after this race. Both the Alpha Tauri and the McLaren have DRS. Anthony is certainly a sitting duck. It's going to go 3 wide, potentially into turn 8. There's contact between the Alpha Tauri and the McLaren of Azure, but Robin gets the upper hand between the 3 drivers. But McLaren is now going to fight back, and Azure is going to go on the inside at turn 10. Easy work there.
He's got it. Madron and Araguna are getting quite close up there for 3rd place.
And do you know who else is getting quite close? the 2 leaders. And Stinos.
Oh, it's right down now. Oh, and AlphaTauri spun. I think is that. Oh, no, maybe not. I think they're back on now.
2 tenths separate Vedran and Amir Guna. We'll have a quick look at the penalty situation. Kalirov's got himself 8 seconds of time penalties.
Ouch.
And 9
And he's
seconds
on
of a sad
hard.
pancake. 5 tenths separate the top 2. It looks like
Can Stinos hold it?
with 2.5 laps to go, Stinos is not going to have an answer to the question.
He's going to have it for this straight, but how is he going to do it for the next 2 laps? And he's got a penalty.
He's going to have to try and force as Vedran goes through into 3rd place. Yeah, force a mistake from Veloce. Maybe make a mistake of a track limit violation. Of course, you can potentially try and play the
if he holds it up on track, it'll be a brilliant performance, to be honest, even without the penalty on that one tyres. But I'm not sure it's going to happen. He's right behind him.
Yeah, he's only 4 tenths behind now, and 3 tenths. And is he going to go for it now? He isn't using overtake, and actually no, he's waiting. He's doing it intentionally. He's just waiting. James is around again. That might be 3 times he's been round in this race.
Not a really good one.
No, he's even getting lapped by his teammate now, Trunders.
I know about Alfa Romeo's lapping each other as well.
Yeah, but it is strange how you've been Alfa Romeo for 2 years running. You two stay teammates next season. Will it be a bit weird not being Alfa Romeo, but there's 1/10, separating the top 2. Veloce now takes the lead and did it when he wanted to get it done. He did have the luxury of having that opportunity, as Amir Guna may want to try and, but potentially not actually, with Vedran having 6 seconds of penalties. All he needs to do is stay behind him. Crossfire Strikes gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple
he's off again.
warnings, and he's off once again.
Yeah, it would be weird not being an Alfa Romeo. Yeah, but no, we've been Alfa Romeo 2 years in a row, and it's become more of a thing now, really. Just trying to get points. Having a slightly better season this year, though.
Yeah, and now coming on to the final.
Oh, Tapasta's gone.
Lap, and Tapasta has made a mistake as well, now down into 7th place. As we now go on to the final lap.
Stinos is sticking quite well with Veloce here.
He is, but he has got that time penalty.
If he can force him into a mistake, maybe.
Maybe, we don't know how many. Isaac, check on the race director quickly how many warnings Veloce's got.
2. He's had 2 warnings. Ooh. He's got on me. I don't think he's going to be close enough.
He doesn't look like he's going to be close enough. He may have one more crack at it down the Michel straight. His Crossfires does get nicely out of the way there for the 2 leaders. As we come down to turn 8 for the final time today. Stinos doesn't try and go for it, maybe force his rival into a penalty mishap, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We've got a yellow flag again. My guess will be it's James facing the wrong direction. Once again, 1/10 separate the top two.
Oh, top pancakes got big wheel.
Big Weir has now moved himself up into the points. So at least he is grabbing himself another point. One of the most consistent drivers for points this season. Veloce, though, did himself one hell of a Grand Prix today. He started really far back, started on the hards with his teammates outside the top 10, takes his first win of Monday's Limitless 1. Stinos, a 20-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
Surely that's going to get removed. I'm not sure quite what that's for, to be honest.
I'm not 100% sure what that's for. He may have to appeal that at the end. He is out, and he is going to move down the order quite significantly, because Azure now moves himself up into 4th place. And there's a big crash.
Big pile
up on the start finish. Potentially more drivers to incur this pile up. Just out of curiosity, see if that's the case.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, very close. You see, actually, a fight on the last lap from the last corner between Trunders and Sibiru to round out the field at the end of this French Grand Prix. There we go. Yes, that's interesting. That's interesting. What will happen with the names just slipped away from me. A driver who got a 20-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So we'll have to see what happens there. It was Cali Rob. Sorry, no, it wasn't. It was Stinos getting the
Tay got a puncher on 76%.
And Tay got
That's why.
He dropped himself down. So anyway, the final running order for today's Monday's Limitless One's French Grand Prix. It was Veloce who won the race from 14th. Amir Guna did himself well as well, starting from 12th. Said the guy starting outside the top 10 certainly had the best of the strategy there. Vedran finished in 3rd place. Azure finished in 4th. I think that's his best result of the season so far. Stinos was 5th, but that may change at a later date. Cali Rob is 6th. 7th is Apex Vinley. 8th was Anthony. 9th was Big Weir. Robin rounded out the point scoring positions. 11th was South Pancake. Chemjazz was 12th. 13th was Tay Pasta. 14th was Sibiru. Trunders was 15th. 16th was Crossfire Strikes. Darth Vader, James, Darth Vader and Ruding were not present in the Grand Prix. Ruding was out from a DNF, and James would have finished in 17th. So, Isaac, how did you find your first dance in the commentary box?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good race. Lots of different strategy calls.
It was, as I said, France usually is a lot better as a league race than it is usually in real life. So, Isaac, what are you? How are you feeling about tomorrow, Portugal, for another Portugal sprint format? Actually, we had it on Monday as well. It's the only one that's in Monday and Tuesday.
Portugal is. I really like it. A bit of a roller coaster track. I'm not particularly good at it. Not gonna lie. Harry's got a better time than me on time trial. But we're working on it, and I'm quite excited. I really like the sprint format.
Yeah, it's definitely I really like the format as well. But of course, it'll be the last time that we do the Portuguese Grand Prix.
It's quite sad. But...
It is. I might do some practice tonight, because it will be the last time. Got to have a good result in the last race. I got to get a win on Tuesday, Isaac.
You will get a win on Tuesday. You will.
I got to do it. I got to at least get one. I think. Hey, has Harry got himself a win this season?
Yeah, Azerbaijan, remember, you got taken out on the first lap and I crashed as well. Harry got himself a win.
That was his first win, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was his first. Yeah, his first win and thingy. Oh, I was on the pit wall cheering him on the whole time.
Anyway, so yeah, Portugal is tomorrow night. On Thursday, it was going to be Russia, but of course we're not doing Russia now for obvious reasons. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, it'll be Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix, to be confirmed on that one. And next Monday, we're coming home, Isaac. It's the British Grand Prix on Monday, and it's
So
a
much
sprint.
done.
And it's a sprint format again. So we're going to get the sprint format tomorrow, and then we're going to get it next Monday as well. And then after that, after next week, I'll say it next week, we will be having a week off, and then the week off is good for me because it's a big important week because I'm moving house. So that's it's going to be it was quite well placed actually, done by complete accident, but there you go. Anyway, yeah, so join us tomorrow for me and Isaac out on track, and Kem and Big Rear in the commentary box for the Portuguese Sprint and Grand Prix, and obviously Thursday with Broomhandle for Formula 4 for Zandvoort potentially. That might get changed, and we'll let you know tomorrow night stream if it does. Anyway, thanks, Isaac. I hope you did enjoy tonight's race.
Yes, it was very exciting.
And thanks for not leaving me on my lonely old self. Anyway, we'll catch you tomorrow. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We still want to try and get to 200 subs by the end of this season, at the end of May, mid-June sort of time. I hope everyone is doing all right in Ukraine as best you can be, and obviously we hope for it all to end as soon as possible. So if anyone is listening can donate to anything to do with the war in Ukraine, that would be much appreciated on us, considering doing some sort of charity event a little later on after the season is finished for Ukraine potentially, and hopefully it's ended by then, but obviously there will be repercussions that will still need to be dealt with. Anyway, on that note, we'll speak to you tomorrow. As I said, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Check out Kem and Big Weir for the Portuguese Grand Prix tomorrow night.